Tata Trust, which was then called SRTT, decided to invest in primary research in Indian context. So they asked me to design a longitudinal research project that looked at least two Indian languages. Accordingly, I designed the little project where we collected data in Maharashtra in a tribal district, and the primary medium of instruction there is Marathi. And likewise, we collected data in Yadgir in Karnataka. It's again a very socially disadvantaged district of Karnataka. And the medium of instruction here is Kannada. So we followed a cohort of 360 students at each of the two sites over a period of 3 years as they went from grades 1 to grade 2 to grade 3. We have quantitative data and qualitative data. And we've spent a total of 5 years on the field. We spent 2 years initially for piloting and developing our tools, establishing our research teams, and another 3 years conducting the research. We traditionally have ways of teaching Indian scripts where we have a sequence in which we first introduce what we will call the basic aksharas, the basic letters of the Varnamala. Then we introduce the matras, which are the secondary vowel diacritics, and then we introduce conjunct consonant symbols, which we call samyukta akshara, joda akshara, vatta akshara in different languages. So we have a sequence of first introducing consonant symbols, then the secondary vowel diacritics, and finally the conjunct consonants. Now the problem with this method of introducing aksharas to children is that most of the words in spoken language obviously introduce some vocalic sounds which require matras to represent. So when children come to school in first grade, they come with an oral vocabulary. Now most of the oral vocabulary that they come to school with need matras to be written down. But we are not yet ready to introduce them to matras. So for the first 6 months or so, we make them use words which they have absolutely no familiarity with. For example, I'll just give you a simple example. You show a child a picture of an elephant and you ask the child, what is this? A South Indian child might say aane or ana. A Hindi speaking child may say hathi. Whether the child says aane or hathi, to write this down requires the use of a matra, the secondary vowel diacritic. Since we are not ready to teach the child this, we substitute the familiar word aane with an unfamiliar Sanskritized word like gaja or gaj, which does not require matras. So for a long time, the children are not just copywriting, but they're copywriting words that have little meaning to them, very little relevance, connect to their lives, connect to their oral vocabularies, and so on. So this is a major problem. Reading and writing are just not being taught very meaningfully. Further, we also found that teachers, when we interviewed the teachers say that they're not really being taught or talked to about how to teach reading and writing. So they're basing it on how they themselves learn to read and write, or some 1-day, 2-day workshops they've received on particular curricular innovations that have been introduced in their state, and so on. Now I've just given you a glimpse of the kind of findings that we have, but more complete summaries of these findings can be found in various booklets that we have put out, which can be downloaded from the Azim Premji University website. Meaning making should be really central to the curriculum. It cannot and should not be postponed to later grades. We cannot say first let the children spend 2 years learning the aksharas and we'll get to meaning making later. Meaning making and relevance have to be established simultaneously along with Akshara Gyan right from the very early grades. Now this doesn't mean that you don't teach the script. You definitely need to teach children the script. But the script also needs to be taught in a more relevant way. We have to find ways that we teach the script such that children can make meaningful words from the very beginning. And it is not sufficient that we just help them make relevant words, but we need to give them sufficient time to learn the script. Indian scripts are far more complex than is commonly assumed. We have got a vast number of symbols. We have got the basic aksharas, we have got, as I mentioned, the matras, we have got the samyukta aksharas, very complex set of symbols that young children have to learn. And right now we are giving them barely a year and a half of the curriculum to learn that. So we need to give them more time. We need to acknowledge the complexity of our scripts. At the same time, we need to teach the script in more meaningful ways and better ways. In addition to that, the curricula themselves need to be reformed or re-envisioned such that they include higher order meaning making, such that, for example, bringing rich children's literature to classrooms, having children read good books, discuss, analyze, critique, having them write for expression, for communication, and not just for script acquisition. This is very important. A final implication is that teachers, both at the pre-service and at the in-service level, require significant preparation, not just in general pedagogical strategies, but in pedagogical strategies that are specific to the teaching of early reading and writing. Right now, we are working based out of knowledge generated in other contexts, which are localized based on our gut instincts and our pet theories. Now, some of our instincts may be right. Some of the knowledge that we take from elsewhere may be generalizable, but this should be tested out rigorously in the field and adapted and modified. Now, some people view the empirical method with some disdain. And I see the limitations of the empirical method, but I still believe that has a lot to offer to us in terms of sort of making us examine our own assumptions, test our theories, stretch our imagination, and see what really works in the classroom. So there's a dire need for such research, and I really encourage young researchers who wish to come into the field to take up primary research of this kind.